Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Today's video, I'm going to be making an aluminum rolling herb garden. It's going to be about 8 feet tall and about 5 feet wide. We're primarily going to be using some 1.5-inch square tube aluminum, 120 wall thickness. This is going to be a great little project. Let's get started on today's video. Today's video is sponsored by King Metals. They've got all your fabrication needs in one location. From hinges to hardware, balusters to metal decor, brass to aluminum, and a whole lot more. You name it, they've got it. Check them out today at kingmetals.com. Now let's get back to today's video. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is get rid of the steel cutting blade, and we're gonna put an aluminum blade in here. Champion provides both steel and aluminum blades, and you can see the difference right there. The aluminum's got a lot more teeth closer together, and it prevents buildup. If you use the steel blade cut in aluminum, you might get away with a couple pieces, but for the most part, they'll start building up, and it won't be cutting. With the aluminum blade here, works really well. There'll be a lot of aluminum cutting right here. I am working with some 1.5-inch square tube, 120 wall thickness. That's what we're going to be using primarily for this whole project. Now there's tons of cutting that I'm going to have to do, and obviously I'm not going to show all of that because you get the idea right here. I'm just going to cut up the pieces for this first section right here. And I just wanted to show you, the aluminum blade and how it cuts, and basically that's what we're going to be doing. Otherwise, there's just tons of cutting. It's all the same. All right, over here at the welding table with the first little section right here. Now this is the start of a really long project. Table dogs going in on both sides, and then we're going to pull in the first two pieces and get a perfect 90-degree angle. That's going to be my starting point. I do have a drawing that I'm working off of. I did not show you that drawing, but there's a lot of changes that happened during this project. There was a lot of additions that came about that I had to change quite a bit. But this is just the first part right here, and I'm getting everything clamped down and nice and square. Thank goodness for the fab clamps right here. Things work really good. All right, here we go. We're going to start welding, and I'm working off the HTP Invertig 251 DV AC/DC machine. This is a brand new machine from HTP, and I've had it for a couple of months now. I've been working with it, and it has been working phenomenally. And this is with a heavy hitter torch as well. Now I'm going to be switching back and forth from TIG welding to MIG welding. I'll be on the HTP ProPulse 300, and I'll have that spool some aluminum, and we're going to be using that as well. Only because I have a hard time welding out of position TIG welding. So don't do it enough to where I can't go left-handed and right-handed, and it's difficult for me. And once I get farther along in this project, you'll see that there's a lot of out of position welding, and that's why I've got to switch over to the MIG. I don't do a lot of TIG welding, especially aluminum, and so I love it. I love the challenge, and I like to hone my skills a little bit. And then when I have an opportunity to do so, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, and you're always learning, especially if you don't do it every day. It might take a little while to get used to, get back into the swing of things, get your settings just right. But it feels good when you can, put down some pretty decent welds when you haven't done it in a while. Like I said, this is just the first part of it, and I got the one side welded out, and I've flipped this thing over, and I'm getting the other side. And I'm going to use the TIG, the 251 for as much as I can right here. It's fun. And with this piece right here, because I can move it in all different directions, here it is, I've got it up on end. And then, once I get as much welded on this side and all the inside corner joints and outside corner joints I can get, I'll flip it around the other way and get another angle. So this piece right here was primarily with the 251 the whole way. And this would be the other side. HTP has really come a long way this last few years. The Revolution 2500 And now with the 251 DV, oh my gosh, the technology has really come a long way, and boy, they really knocked it out of the park with these two machines. They're phenomenal and they work amazing. All right, here's just another angle. I've got it flipped up the other way, and I've got it supported with the fab square right here, some fab clamps, and this is all the welding out of position stuff. I've just about got this thing where it needs to be now, and did all that welding with the 251 right here. It's not going to be long though before we're switching over. All right, a little bit farther along, you can see that I've got two sides together there, and now I'm starting to weld the supports here on the inside. Now this project here is going to be about 6'6" tall. It's about 5 feet wide, and it's out about maybe 35 inches or so at the base. That's turning out to be more of a project. The thing is when the customer showed me the picture, this is kind of what we want. I said, yeah, no problem. I can put that together, and no problem welding that, and I can do that. And in my mind, it was no problem. Once I started drawing this thing out and then realizing what I needed and how I needed to do things, it just got more and more difficult. All right, so here's my first go at out of position welding for me. This is, I'm left-handed, so this is right-handed welding. You can see, oh my gosh, I quickly realized that I need to practice this a little bit more often. This just wasn't working for me. Ultimately, you can see right there, I switched the torch back over to my left hand just to finish this weld up right here. And once I got that out of the way, I said, okay, I've had enough of that out of position welding. You can see I fouled the tip. Of course you're going to. And so I got a fresh tungsten in there, and got all the welding that I can get with the TIG torch before I switched over. All right, a big clamp here to clamp the last remaining piece to separate the two pieces. So now we've actually got a frame here that we're working with. Moving the foot pedal around. It's got a 25-foot lead. Moving that around the table is a little bit, but here we go. You can see I've switched over now. Now I'm on the 300, HP Pro Pulse 300, and got it spooled up with the aluminum, and here we go. You can see it's much faster for out of position welding. Now granted, it's not as clean as TIG welding, but it's not too far. It's not too bad. You get a little bit of black soot built up sometimes, but if you can take a look at some of these welds, I mean, not too bad. Yeah, can you imagine TIG welding that? Upside down, left-handed, right-handed, whatever. But as much as I enjoy it, I'm back on it right here. I got a nice flat surface to work with right here, and as much time as I can get under the hood with the new 251 is what I want to do, because it is fun. TIG welding is fun. I do enjoy it, and if you did it every day, I'd be able to get that out of position welding better. But look how fast this is. A lot quicker, not as clean, but a lot faster. All right, so here we are moving along here, and I did put a few extra supports in there. I realized that I needed to have twice as many as I originally planned, because these planter boxes that you'll see here shortly, they need to rest. They hang on one and they need to rest on the other one, and I didn't realize that when I drew it up, but once I'm building things, this is where all the extra stuff comes in. And then this piece of flat plate right here, I figured I needed that support in there. All right, I'm switching over to an aluminum cutoff wheel right here, something that Mercer provides. Super cool for cutting aluminum. It cuts through it like butter, no buildup on the blade at all. If you used a regular steel blade, there'd be build up on that, and you wouldn't be able to get the cutting as easy as it is with the aluminum blade. Works good on thick aluminum as well. I've used it. All right, this is the sheet metal going in. It's going to create the box at the bottom. This is some 3/16 aluminum plate, and it's got some clamps and clamping everything down, and a lot of welding going on right here. I think it was at this point right here where I realized, man, I'm in pretty deep in this project right here. This is turning out to be twice as much as I thought it was going to be. You know, you guys wonder, I get a lot of, comments, where have you been? I haven't seen a video in a long time. Well, it's projects like this right here that get to I can't put a video up every week as much as I'd love to. But this project took me 3 weeks, maybe a little bit more to do. And you got to remember, I also have a full-time job. I have a construction company that I deal with for most of the part of the day. So the only chances I get to work on projects and film videos is in the afternoon and the evenings and on the weekends. So yes, it's been a while since I had a video up, but you can see why right here. 3 weeks of working on this and a lot of filming. It's just hard to get it out. But we got some good stuff coming, and I'll be looking forward to that. All right, so this here is the base. Now, I couldn't get any welding in the center right here. I suppose I could if I stood it up, but there was no way for me to clamp it tight. So I just elected to go with some aluminum pop rivets right here. And I think that was a pretty good idea right there. These pop rivets here just pull everything nice and tight to the bottom frame right there. I got this this air pop rivet gun here a while back, 2 or 3 years ago for a project I did. I guess it works pretty good, but I think there are some better ones out there. You can see I'm struggling a little bit here with it. I don't know if it's the adjustments. I don't know what it is, but I did have some problems with it going on. Plus, you can see my hand on the hose right there. It leaks air. I need to, either get a new one or get this thing fixed somehow. And I gotta say, I bought the cheapest one I could get because, I didn't think I was going to use it that much. But just when you think you're not going to use it is when you start using it a lot. Should have spent the money on the more expensive one. All right, this is something else that was added by the customer at the last minute. They decided that they wanted some expanded metal all the way around. And so this is some aluminum expanded metal. I didn't tell you, but one of the reasons for making this in this particular location for the customer, he's got a air conditioning unit that is hung on the back of his garage, like a Mr. Cool or something like that. And and it's kind of a unsightly air conditioner. It's in the back of his garage off the wall, and he wanted to conceal that somehow at the same time, making a splinter box right here. And so maybe you'll see here in a different shot when I get it stood up that there'll be an open area, and that is where this air conditioner is going to be, and this whole thing conceals that. All right, I need to explain myself a little bit right here. The 1-inch aluminum block right there. The area that is going in is out of level by 1 inch. And so that's why I got these 1-inch spacers on the one side. This is going to get this up level. And you can see I've got it backed up with a 1/4 inch spacer as well. I do the same thing on the other side, but not with a 1-inch spacer. And the idea is the customer stated that, hey, if and when they move, they're taking this with them, and they wanted to be able to unbolt this and take this, remove the spacer if they needed to get it back flat and level. So that's the idea behind that. Super nice casters, by the way. Super heavy duty, nice locking assembly. All right, that's the one side, and then with the spacer, and then this is the other side without the spacer right there. All right, now that we're on wheels, I'm able to roll this thing around a little bit. The only disadvantage with the ProPulse 300 MIG is you're limited to an 8-foot gun lead. And with that said, most of all the work that I'm going to be doing is right here in the corner where it is between the mill and my welding table. Because that's just about as far as I can take my gun lead, a little bit farther, but most of the work is going to be able to be in this corner right here. So instead of having a 25-foot torch lead for TIG, this is an 8-foot gun lead for MIG. The only disadvantage. especially when you're doing a project of this size. Luckily, this is able to fit right in between everything, and I was able to get this done. Kind of cramped quarters, but everything fit. All right, another added section to this rolling herb planter box, whatever you want to call it, is the area that is going to be a dead area, if you will. And the customer stated that, hey, let's utilize that dead area by putting maybe some tool storage in there, maybe a shelf that they could put some gardening tools or whatever potting material in this area right here. Great idea, utilizing this space rather than having a dead space back there. And you'll see here in a little bit, the open area to my right there is the area where the air conditioner condenser is going to fit in. This whole thing is going to roll right up against the garage and conceal this air conditioning unit. And that is the open area to the right there. And then the area to the left is the tool storage. All right, so what I'm doing right here is I'm putting these this is where the bins are going to hang, and this is an aluminum little fastener, if you will, that fits on the backside right there and sticks out about 1/4 of an inch. It's got a little rounded head on it, and this is how those bins are going to hang. They've got some pre-drilled holes in the back of these bins. They're two different sizes. I think one's 36, the other's 24, and you'll see right here how it's going to work. And then here's the bin. These were ordered by the customer. They came from Canada, I believe. And this is the 36. And then this one here is the 24. And those are going to be alternating back and forth all the way up and down. So that's give you some idea of what it's going to look like when it's completed. All right, I'm just finishing in the screened in area right here for the tool storage area. Kind of jumping around a little bit, everything has to come in a certain order. I got to get this screen on here before other things get done, and then I get other things done before I can put the screen on. So I'm just kind of jumping around to be sure I don't box myself in to where I can't get things done in the order they need to be. All right, so now we're finishing up right here on the tool storage, kind of. I got the last piece on the back side I got to put on, but you can see that I got a shelf in the middle right there. So he's got an upper and a lower area that'll be accessible from the side. All right, so the side area where my toolbox is over there is how you're going to access this. In case you guys are trying to figure out how all this happens, I'm trying to explain it to you. This expanded metal aluminum kind of tricky, I'm telling you. All right, fat boy trying to get in a small spot right here. Oh my gosh, if that thing was any smaller, I would have never be able to gotten in there. That I am just wedged in there, but this is the only way I can do this. And so where I am is where that air conditioner is going to is where it's going to slide right in, and it's going to be concealed. You won't be able to see it. And I think it was a great idea the customer had right here. Kind of cleaned up that back corner of the garage, and yet utilized it with a nice planter area. All right, more crawling in and finishing this stuff up. Just about got this thing complete, and I got to tell you, I'm glad we're coming to the end of this. This was a long project, but enjoyable. I love doing stuff like this and seeing things come together, especially when you build as you go, if you will, and that's kind of like what I did right here. You never know what you're getting into until you get into it. All right, well, there's the last little piece going on right there, and this has been a really good project. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Maybe kind of long, but it was kind of fun. And get this over to the powder coaters, and then I'll show you the finished clips. All right, Pat, there it is. I think I'm complete here. I got all the hooks on there for the pots. They all work real good. Got your cross piece on here with a thumb screw on either end. Got extra supports in there so you can slide a box in. And we are screened all the way around. And then on your tool space over here, we got two sections. We got a shelf on top and a shelf on the bottom, all screened all the way around. So I'm pretty sure that that's it, and it's ready for powder coat on Monday. All right, there it is in its location, and I gotta say it turned out really good. The color is really nice, kind of matches the house a little bit and conceals that air conditioner. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.